So 7 months ago, I picked up this phone right here, the Surface Duo 1. And you know, my review of this phone 7 months later, because obviously I did not pick it up day one out of the box when it first came out. It was all buggy, glitchy. I bought this phone for around $700. It's now down to right here actually on eBay. It actually says $499, and I actually can get it for even cheaper for $399. Now, this phone is a secondary device for me. It's not my main daily driver. My daily driver right now is the Z Fold 3. The reason why is because it has, of course, Android 12, and also it has a lot of really cool features to it. Now, I have right here on the screen behind me is the exact list of specs for this device. And the question is do I still recommend buying this device? I said in my video around 2 weeks ago, I said I do recommend buying this device because for a secondary device, I think this phone definitely gives you a lot for $400 value. But I will definitely say, you know, we are now almost 3 weeks into January, and we got promised again we would get Android 11 update on this device sometime in January. We're now 3 weeks into January, and we still have no update. Now, most likely, if there is an update, it will come out on the 19th. That's when they have done updates in the past throughout last year. So, again, like I said, I would figure the 19th. That would be my day to go with. But with that being said, we kind of have to look at the fact of what this phone is right now. With, let's say we don't get an update. This thing is still running Android 10, right? And I'll be honest, I love the design of this. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's beautiful. But we are now, as time going on, and as Android 12L is coming out in a couple months, we're now getting to a point where this phone is literally becoming almost just obsolete at this point. I mean, it's still a good phone and it's still useful, and you can still buy the secondary device. But like a lot of these specs right here, as you guys can see, are kind of becoming outdated. Android 10, we have Android 12 now. I mean, the Surface Duo 2 actually does go ahead and run Android 11. And that's, again, the reason why I don't use the Surface Duo 2 as a daily driver, because it doesn't have Android 12. And then we have, of course, 6 gigabytes of RAM versus 8 gigabytes on the Surface Duo 2. We also have no NFC by any stretch of the imagination. There's no camera on this, and I absolutely love that. The best fact of this phone is there's no camera bump. That's the best fact of the Surface Duo 1. There is no camera bump at all. But it's still buggy. It's still buggy because there's no Android 11. There's no Android 11. There's no Android 12L. And I'm tired of the promises for the device. I'll be honest. I'm getting tired of the promises for this device. And, you know, we hear Microsoft 2 weeks ago talk about, hey, listen, very shortly, we're going to give you Android 11. You said you were going to give Android 11 by the end of this year. Well, and then last year. And that was 3 months we waited. You never gave us it. And the only reason they even said they wouldn't give us it was because Surface Duo 2 wasn't selling well. Because guess what? Who knew that you could release a Surface Duo 2, not give us what you promised to give us on this device, and no one would buy the Duo 2? Who knew that would happen? I mean, Microsoft, do you need rocket science at your company to figure out that that probably wasn't the best idea? Like that, I really don't think you have to be a rocket science to figure out if you release one product and you don't update the last product or give any pretty much fluffs about it, you're not going to sell the new product as well. So, yeah. And again, like I said, I think probably on the 19th, 20th, we'll get Android, we'll get Android 11 on this device. And this device might be an absolute amazing device. Or, it could be an absolute buggy mess. And I've said this many times, I'm scared of getting Android 11 on this device because what if it ends up becoming a buggy mess on this device and we can't even use this device? Now we have to flash it back to Android 10. And if Android 11 doesn't work, then Android 12L is right out the window on this device. 7 months later, and I find myself really using this device very scarcely. The main times I use this device, because again, I do have a Surface Duo 2. That definitely helps out a lot, obviously. But it's really when I just want to have a device that I don't feel like is bulky, cumbersome, and just in the way. And that's what I think the Duo 1 gives you over the Duo 2. When you hold this phone, you hold this phone feels light. It feels easy to use. I can flip it around like this without any hesitation. This phone is bulky. It's not bigger because technically this is thinner than, or it's smaller the width-wise, height-wise than the Duo 1. But overall wise, it just feels like this is more like, you know, rigid, stuff like that. And obviously the camera bump definitely doesn't help. This phone just feels more like premium, I feel like. I feel like it feels more good in the hand. But I've been using it more and less because the Z Fold 3 has Android 12. And Android 12 gives you so many new features and so many customizable features and security updates and stuff like that. We just got a January update for the Z Fold 3, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And like I said before, this is not a bad phone. Once you go ahead and add in, you know, I'll say Windows Titanium, but once you go ahead and add in the ability here to actually, you know, add in Installer 10, this phone is really gorgeous. And it really shows how amazing technology can be when you look at this phone. I mean, I absolutely adore this phone, but $400 is starting to become a price I think in simply might be too much to ask for. And I think once we get Android 12 or Android 11, 12L, maybe we can start changing our mind about this device. But, you know, a lot of you guys commented down below and you guys are really true about it. It's like, where is it? You know, we could sit here and say till December of this year and say, hey, listen, Microsoft's gonna give us it, but it just seeming to be false promises. And I don't know, will tell you right now, it's like, do I recommend still picking up the Duo 1? I would say yes, but you have to temper your expectations. This phone has an outdated processor, 855. It's still a good processor. It has, of course, 6 gigabytes of RAM, which again is very small for the amount you need to run this whole entire device. We have 6, we have 8. 8's a lot better than 6. Obviously, there's no, you know, integrated RAM in this. There's no wireless charging. There's no, you know, waterproofness. There's no outside display. There's no anything. It's literally just a bare minimum. It's literally, this phone reminds me of a prototype. And also, of course, 260 hertz panels on the inside rather than 290 hertz panels on the Surface Duo 2. So overall, like I said before, this is not a video of me trashing the Duo 1 and saying that, oh my god, now 2 weeks after I made a video that you probably should pick this up in 2022, that now it's absolutely garbage. No, it's not. It's temper your expectations going into it and realize that this phone, while I still think it's a great phone, it isn't perfect. And there are issues. And, you know, you got to go into it understanding that this is probably going to be a secondary device. There's no NFC on this device. Now, you could have a Galaxy Watch. You go out there and buy a Galaxy Watch for $400 with this device. Bam, pair them together. That's $800 you just spent. To be honest, is that worth it? Probably so, because right now the foldable phone market, there's not really that good of a budget foldable phone. The cheapest foldable phone on the market right now is the Z Fold or Z Flip 3, and that has issues itself because of the battery life. The next cheapest is Oppo's phone. That has issues because you can't get it in China. And then the next cheapest outside of that is the Surface Duo 2. And that has issues, obviously, above itself. And then we have the Z Fold 3. So overall wise, just kind of want to give my thoughts and opinions overall. I know I rant a little bit in this video, but I know a lot of you guys watch my content, you guys love it when I rant and just give my thoughts, you know, my pure thoughts of what's going on, how I'm feeling right now about these devices. And overall wise, I will say, if you are thinking about picking this up, maybe temper your expectations a tad bit. Maybe go ahead and wait a little bit, you know, see what other devices might come out in 2022, because we are on the cusp of a lot of devices dropping, guys. 2022 is going to be a huge year when it comes to device dropping. There might not be another Surface Duo 3 this year, but there will be a lot of Samsung devices and a lot of Chinese manufacturers coming out with devices. We have a Google Pixel Notepad coming out sometime very, very shortly. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.